Hi everyone, it's Clyde here, and today's video is all about 3 mistakes I've made that has made me become a better investor. And let me tell you, I have learned from these 3 mistakes, and boy, these 3 mistakes has humbled me. So the first mistake that I've made is listening to the wrong people. See, when I was in my early 20s, wanting to learn as much as I can about investing, I'd ask friends, I'd ask people who I thought were experts, who I thought knew what they were talking about. And boy, was I wrong. They would give me tips to invest in, I'd invest in those companies, and I'd lose my money. When you're studying full-time, working part-time, it takes a long time to save. And when your savings goes into something and you've lost it all, boy, does that humble you. And so going through that experience, I thought to myself, you know what? It is so important to get the right advice, to learn from people who know what they're talking about. See, the tips that I got were from people who had absolutely no idea, that had no experience when it comes to investing, didn't know what to look for. So the lesson learned is get the right advice. Learn from someone who knows what they're talking about. So that was the first mistake, is listening to the wrong people. The second mistake I made was selling too early. See, when I was learning to invest and getting started, my focus was always about short term. How much money can I make really, really quickly? And you see, some of the companies that I invested in, the share price increased, and I did make some money. But boy, it humbles you when you've sold and the share price still continues to rise. And you just think to yourself, wow, look at that opportunity that I've just missed out on. Why? Because my focus was too short term. And so that's the lesson learned is, if you've got a good investment, you're earning a good return, stick with it. Do not sell. The investment is a long-term strategy. Short-term gains will never beat long-term wealth creation. And so that was my lesson learned, is that I sold too quickly when I could have waited and earned a lot more. So selling too quickly was the second mistake. And finally, the third mistake that I made was thinking that I could do it all myself. And so after graduating from uni, I thought, you know what, I can do this myself. Now, understanding about finance and learning it, all about it, I knew how to read company reports. I knew what to look for. I can do it all myself. Boy, was I wrong. I realized going through that experience, thinking that I can do it myself, is that I can't do it myself. I don't have the time to research each company in detail. I don't have the time to listen to where the companies see themselves in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I didn't have the time to attend general meetings and to understand the company's directions and things like that. And when you don't have the time to stay on top of those things, you miss a lot of opportunities. And that's exactly what happened when corporate actions happened with particular companies. I would miss that opportunity because I wasn't on top of it all. And now I've come to realize that I can't do it all myself, and I am willing to pay someone who's an expert and is willing to do it on my behalf. Someone who has the same investment philosophy as myself, or someone who has the same investment values as yourself, and get them to do all that for you, and pay them, because that's what they do, that's what they're experts in. And so going through that process, boy, knowing that I don't have the time to keep up on top of everything, and now passing all that to someone else, it's a great feeling. So that's the third mistake that I made, was thinking that I could do it all myself. So that's it for this week. again, the 3 mistakes that I've made. Number 1, listening to the wrong people, selling too early. Number 2, and finally, thinking I can do it all myself. These 3 mistakes I've learnt from, and I can promise you it's something that I'll never go back to doing. And it humbled me to go through that, because now I'm a better investor as a result. So, hope you got something out of it. I would love to hear your comments below or your thoughts. If you have any questions, write them as well. And that's it for me. Remember, finally, I'm dedicated to helping you take actionable steps today for a better financial tomorrow. See you next time. Bye.